Hi, I'm Johnny with Happy Valley Ranch. Today we will be assembling the American Harvester Apple Cider Press. When you get your order, this is what you should have. This will be the frame box, Acme screw box, grinder box, the tub box. Should you order a motor kit for this, you will get another box this size which contains all your parts to assemble your motor kit. Okay, when you receive your American Harvester, your large box will contain a pre-assembled front section, the tray, the two back legs, and the flywheel. That should be in your large box. The smallest box should contain the Acme screw with the foot. Your next box is going to be your grinder. On your last box, which will be your tub box, you should have the two tubs, the two racks, one of them's angled for the front of your tray, the grinder supports, pressing disc, the T5 which goes to the back of the legs, two 3/8 by 16-inch rods, bolt sack. This should be all in this your last box, which is your tub box. We're fixing to assemble the American Harvester. The tools you will need: a 9/16 wrench. I suggest you use a socket, a 1/2-inch wrench, and a cordless drill with a number 2 or number 3 Phillips bit. That's the tools you will need to assemble this press. Okay. On assembly, the first part you're gonna do, this is the tray. We're gonna mount the back legs to the tray. And when you do this, get some help because some of this stuff is rather heavy. These legs only go in one direction. There is a right leg and a left one. When you first assemble this, you're going to assemble the back legs to the tray. Once you got the legs on, and they will only go one way so you can't mess up, then you're going to install a 3/8 by 16-inch rod all the way through with a 9/16 nut on it. I don't suggest tightening it down just yet. This is what it will look like when you get that assembled. Your front frame comes pre-assembled. Doesn't matter which way it goes. This is the reason you need help. You'll slide your tray straight in. There's pre-drilled holes in here and on the pre-assembled frame, so you'll know where this goes. A number 2 or a number 3 Phillips head bit. This is where it helps also to have help. Because you will need to look, line that hole up. You get them lined up, they'll both go right in. That's your basic frame. Now we're going to add the T5 with another 3/8 by 16-inch rod. It goes into the slots. Once you got the T5 installed, we will have to add the grinder support. These are your grinder supports. Always have you some help. To line all this up, it will be another 3/8 washer with a 9/16 nut. Now we're going to mount one of the grinder supports. When assembling the grinder supports to the front section, you will need 4 of the 1/4 inch by 3 carriage bolts. You'll see where they go. As this thing goes together, it will get tighter and tighter. That way it's good and steady. Then we will put the 1/4 inch washers with the 1/4 inch nuts. When you get to this point, this is another reason for 2 people. Sometimes because this stuff is made by hand, it's pretty tight in here when you're installing your grinder. Always leave one of your grinder supports loose until you get your grinder set in there. Once you get it set in there, this is a reason for 2 people. You can install your other grinder support to your upper cross arm. Again with the 1/4 by 3 inch carriage bolts. Sometimes if you put it all together first, that grinder is a little tight going in the hole. You will use the same, another set of 1/4 by 3 carriage bolts to mount your grinder. Pay close attention to how you mount this stuff. Even us pros make a mistake. There's pre-drilled holes in all of this for this stuff to go. Once you're at this stage of your assembly, you can go ahead with your 7/16 wrench and your 9/16 wrench and tighten everything up. You'll want to first start just like Mr. Mike's doing, tightening up your back legs, making sure everything is even. Okay. Next, you'll take your 7/16 wrench and tighten up the 1/4 inch bolts that you put for the grinder supports. Tighten all 4 of them. You can also use a ratchet and a 7/16 deep well socket on here if you like. Okay. Next, we're going to install the Acme screw. This is it. The foot will be separate. It will go just like this. Run it down until you have enough to mount your foot back. That gets your Acme screw installed. You can see how it's coming together. Next, we will install the flywheel. There's pre-drilled grooves in the grinder shaft. The outside hole is for the flywheel. Inside hole is should you ever decide to mount a motor to it. Okay. We supplied the handle and all for the flywheel. Easy to assemble. Will look like that when you get through with it. We also supply a little hose, 1-inch hose. For the tray, you will see a hole drilled in the front. It goes like that. Once you have your flywheel and all assembled, you go back and make sure everything's tight. And then you will install your racks. You'll have two. One's got an angle, the other one's square. The angle side goes to the front. The square one goes to the back. And then install your tubs. Then your pressing disc. Go down into the front tub. Now you have the American harvester assembled. Your apples will go in top right here. We do have a thing called a hopper should you want to purchase one to hold more apples. Once you have your apples in there, all you have to do is just grab the handle and turn it like Mr. Mike's doing, and it will grind up your apples. And you'll be drinking apple juice before the day is over with.